speaking about Align and Expand. This is project number 7. So Align and Expand. I read a quote that said, and you may know it, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Does it ring a bell for anyone? Tale of Two Cities. It appears sometimes that there's so much bad news. And yet, I think if we really look at where we are and what's going on in our lives, it's always a time of opportunity. And if we really look at what's happening as well, there's always good news, which is possibility in the waiting, opportunity in the waiting. So, Madam Toast Mistress, thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. It's great to be with you this evening. I was brought to a moment of thinking about strategic alliances. That strategic alliances are happening now in unprecedented numbers, or so they say, so was reported in the literature, which I've researched. So as I thought about the best of times and the worst of times, as I was doing a bit of a research project for the combination of the Center for Spiritual Living International Organization and the United Organization. Are some of you aware of that? Two organizations, they're creating a merger. So part of the work is to bring together the information about what are strategic alliances. We as an international organization would like to have global engagements. So what would that look like? What is this whole world of strategic alliances? So I started doing some research about it, and what began to occur to me is that in the process of thinking about strategic alliances for businesses usually, for large organizations, very often I think about strategic alliances for large businesses, perhaps mergers for large businesses. But the truth is, as I began thinking about it and opening up my mind to it, really strategic alliances are happening everywhere, aren't they? So as I did my research, I learned that, for example, I have 3 definitions for strategic alliances. A formal relationship between 2 or more parties to pursue a set of agreed upon goals to meet a need that is remaining if the 2 organizations were independent. So a formal relationship between 2 organizations. Sounds pretty formal, sounds like big organization stuff to me. To you? Yes, sort of. Definition number 2, partnership to achieve strategically significant objectives that are mutually beneficial to 2 organizations. Sounds a little softer, sounds like, oh, I'm an organization, I'm a business owner, and I could have a strategic alliance with you. Yes, yes. Definition number 3, agreement for cooperation toward common objectives. Wow, that seems like in my own personal life, I could have strategic alliances with other individuals. So as I began to think about this whole world of strategic alliances and thinking of strategic alliances as a way of doing business, unprecedented numbers, Booz Allen reports that the fastest growing trend for business today is in the area of strategic alliances. That 18% of the revenue of organizations that engage in strategic alliances, it comes from those strategic alliances. 18% of the revenue. Sounds like not a bad idea. So for businesses, for many years, there have been alliances that bring organizations together so that they can enter into new markets, be able to market. If they're a production organization, they have an alliance with another organization to do another part of that they couldn't do without them. So they're able to grow. So we are all in a process of growing and expanding, whether we're a big organization or it's me in my own life, in my own world. Always growing and expanding, always seeking ways that I can achieve my dreams, achieve the goals that I have for my life. Nonprofit organizations aren't outside of this realm. Nonprofit organizations reported by the Foundation Center, which is sort of one of the large overseeing bodies of the nonprofit world. Unprecedented rates for gaining vital resources. What's the vital resources for nonprofit organizations? Funding. So the funders are saying, you've got to have strategic alliances. You've got to have strategic alliances in order for us to fund you, because we want to So I come back again. How about you and me? I see the big picture of organizations. I see the financial benefit. I see the benefit for nonprofit organization. But how about for you and me? And I thought about strategic alliances. And I thought about an individual who might be looking for a roommate. Is it a strategic alliance to come together and say, oh, we could share a place? How about somebody that wants to have a garage sale and they come together and they say, hey, you've got the great house, we've got a bunch of junk, let's do it together. A strategic alliance of sorts. Right here in this room, I know that there are two organizations that are represented that are engaging in strategic alliances. David Martine and Deb Martine and Dream Pathfinder, which some of us are associated with. An organization that is powerfully bringing people together to create an organization which leverages the value of each individual's knowledge by bringing them together and sharing that information and that knowledge so that there can be something really greater, potentially very great, achieved from that. So I would ask you, what are your goals in life? How might an alliance fill in some of the potential gaps or holes or needs that you have? Instead of being blocked by an idea, instead of thinking about it being the worst of times, maybe it's the best of times. That right next to you, perhaps in the chair next to you, is the perfect person for you to be engaged with in a strategic alliance to further your life, your business, that person's business, the community at large, and the global community potentially in the end. So, Madam Toastmaster,